Some good questions are coming in. I know we're saying we have been a little esoteric with like this process and, thinking outside the box. Let's talk some specifics. So specific things that parents need to be considering. Their child is aspiring to play in college. They're a freshman. What should be on sort of their roadmap of things to do the freshman year?
So as a freshman, the number one thing is academics. When it's all said and done, to play on the college stage, the whole point is about your education. Certainly it can lead towards other opportunities, but academics are first and foremost, because that's going to shape a lot of what the options become later on in this process. So, making sure they're establishing strong academic rigor and good study habits, those are important. And then at that point, it's starting to really get an idea about where you're at as a player and start with a really big, dream big list. And then from there, you can really start refining over the course of the next 2 years. And I say two, which that's a different discussion, but.
Yeah, no, well, let's sort of chime in. So freshman year, really focusing on academics, making the list really big, maybe visiting some schools, getting a sense of the type of school you might be interested in the city, in the more in the country, or not urban or smaller, bigger, getting a sense of this is what I feel is a right environment for me, likely maybe freshman year. And then sophomore year, what needs to shift?
Well, in the sophomore year, that's where the communications become really heavy. On the women's side, the recruitment process starts a little bit earlier than the boys. And so at that point, it's about communicating with those schools of interest, developing that list, starting to take visits when you're traveling with your club teams. When you're in certain cities, take the time to go visit and walk around campus, get a feel for it. Communicating with those college coaches for sure, and then showcasing, it's going to be an important part of that process, and that's whether you're inviting them to training sessions or scrimmages or games or tournaments, whatever it might be, but the communication becomes very important at that point.
Yeah, so it's pretty much, for parents that are asking, it's like identifying the schools, communicating with them to see if there's any mutual interest, making sure your child is seen by them. And we can talk about that because there's some questions about ID camps and this and that. And then, working to find that mutual interest from a school that suits your child academically and suits you all as a family financially. So can you answer the question here? And then let's just to finish that train of thought. So junior year, what's happening a lot in the junior year for the recruiting process?
So in the recruiting process, the junior year, schools can contact you June 15th of your junior year, Division I, Division II. And you can start taking official visits August 1st of your junior year. So at that point, you'll be distilling down your list by your junior year for the early recruits. By that time, they will be receiving scholarship offers and making decisions during that time. But that certainly can be extended all the way late into your senior year. So I don't want people to panic if that's not happening for them. But yeah, the junior year, you should be taking visits, whether they're official or unofficial, and really fine tuning what that list looks like.
Okay, excellent. So I think that answered a lot of those questions. Let's talk about ID camps, showcasing opportunities, the variety of ways that parents can support their child in being seen by the college coaches. I'm sure you have a little list. Let's kind of dive through those.